So what happened years ago, before we had battery drills and we had amazing drill bits, which is sort of German technology, these things take seconds to go through. Years ago, we used to use either just a hammer or mallet and chisel, or to remove more stock, a bit and brace. And believe it or not, when I started my carpentry and joinery apprenticeship in 1986, anything which involved a mortise, we used to use a bit and brace, okay? That's the bit, obviously, and this is the brace. And actually, with a really sharp bit, these bits are quite historical now, and I've got a fairly good edge on it, but I'll show you exactly how they work. Now, this is great for the arms, I'm telling you. So first of all, what I'd always do with a bit and brace, back to joinery, is I'd score my end grain because it wants to chew it up, okay? So I'd use a marking knife and I'd put a score in the end grain. That's the first thing I'd do, because as you go in, it wants to break out the grain, okay? So we want to stop that. And then the next thing I'll do as well, just to be doubly sure, if it was joinery, this matters more, is actually just clean out a little bit with a chisel as well. So we'll just take a little bit out of here, just to be absolutely deadly certain it's not going to split it out. So we'll just take it back to the shoulder line, and then we'll start cutting it out with the bit and brace. Now this is nice and hard, this oak. The greener, the better. It's been felled for a while and sitting here. So I'm just going to start myself off here, okay? And if you really wanted to, you could just take a little bit more there, away from the center of the cutter, just so you know you're not going to have any major split out, okay? Now obviously these have got a shoulder which covers the mortise, so the mortise can be a little bit untidy, but we like to do things as neat as possible just because that's the way it is. Okay, so now we get the bit and brace and we start removing as much stock as we can. You can see I've got a line down the middle. The bit and brace are slightly under the size we need. So you'd start in the middle, of course. This is like the worm, it's like a screw on the end, and we would literally start putting our weight on it and boring it in. It's got 4 cutting points. This has got 2 chisels and 2 scribes. It's an absolutely satisfying bit of kit. You don't have to push too hard, but you've got to keep your firm pressure on. You can see that beautiful shavings that are coming out of there. And once you're at your desired depth, obviously it's got a screw on the end, the worm, so you've got to unscrew it a little bit and get it back out. So you'd repeat that process all the way through, keeping slightly next to it. I mean, not right next to it because you have the fear of splitting in, but you'd go again. And they get slightly easier because they're next to the one before, so the material is getting cleaned out easier. It's a good workout. Bit of pressure and a good spin. So we've got no breakout because we're concentrating on putting that shoulder scribe in first. But it's good for the arms. And that's basically how it works. Let me just show you the end. The screw pulls you in, the scribe, and the chisel chisels. So basically that pulls you in, that scores first, as does that, and the chisels remove the stock. Basic, simple, old-fashioned woodwork technology. You can use it right or left-handed. Makes no difference, just keeps your arms the same size. And then, of course, you'd finish it with a chisel. So, let's give that a little clean out. Just working the sides down first, using the grain in your favour. And that is super satisfying. And if you've only got a few mortises to do, it's nice to get a bit and brace. You can still buy them nowadays with the auger bits. But they're fairly unique in the way they go into the chuck, because they have a tapered shaft on the end and the chuck is tapered. So it's not a parallel jawed chuck, it's a tapered chuck, which means that it really grasps the bit. And as you start of driving it home, there's no way it's going to become loose or spin in the chuck, because the shaft of that bit is effectively square. So once you've done your length and your width, just trim back to your lines. So I'm just aiming my chisel to follow down the side of the mortise, slightly deeper, scoring it as we go. And then we just finish those shoulders, if you like, or the sides. That can just be pared back. But it's a very good workout, I'll tell you. This side I've got to come this way, because the grain will want to split me. If I start here, it will want to split me off that way. But this is perfect this way. And then it's just a matter of cleaning it out, and you have a really nice mortise. That is your bit and brace mortise. Happy days and a good workout.